You weren't born fearing money, you were taught to. From your earliest days, echoes told you, money is the root of all evil. Rich people are greedy. You believed them because they sounded like wisdom. They never explained that money itself is neutral. A tool. It doesn't corrupt. It simply magnifies what's already within. Generosity, fear, ambition, or greed. Like a mirror, it reflects your inner state. You grew up divided. You craved comfort but shamed yourself for wanting it. You dreamed of freedom yet called it selfish. You equated wealth with betrayal, ambition with arrogance. They claimed money changes people, but perhaps money only reveals who they already are, their values, their insecurities, their vision, their generosity. While they kept you poor, they kept you obedient. While they filled you with guilt, they kept you compliant. You abandoned dreams of power because you believed pursuing power made you bad. They glorified endless sacrifice. Work until exhaustion. Sleep if possible. Consume only what's necessary. Humility became invisibility. Quiet. Easy to control. Erased from the spotlight. You were rewarded for fitting in, not for thinking big. Each time you reached for more, they reminded you to be grateful for what you have, tightening the cage. Gratitude is powerful, but weaponized. It becomes a muzzle, good in intention, harmful in purpose. You felt shame for wanting better, guilt for daring to dream, silence for refusing their script. Ask yourself, what's wrong with wanting 5 extra minutes with your children? What's wrong with buying back your time? There is nothing wrong, only what they taught you to believe. But they taught you otherwise, so you'd never try. You stayed on the treadmill, tired, dependent, controlled, dreaming of weekends that slipped through anxious fingers. You called it adulthood. You wore their chains with pride. You nodded while they pocketed your compliance, then moved on to the next obedient soul. No one mentioned the system was built on your obedience and guilt. They blurred lines on purpose, so you wouldn't spot the trap woven into every lesson. Now you feel a tremor in your chest at the words, financial freedom. It isn't envy, it's awakening. A part of you that they tried to bury is stirring, demanding release. You didn't hate money. You hated how they used it to bind you. Now you see the truth. Money isn't friend nor foe. Your programming is the chain. Wealth doesn't corrupt, it liberates. It grants options. Time to breathe. Distance from chaos. It becomes the tool you wield, not the master commanding you. But first you must unlearn. Unlearn shame around abundance. Unlearn guilt around desire. Unlearn the lie that suffering proves worth. Unlearn fear of stepping into your own light. You've walked through life bound and blindfolded by old stories. That ends now. You don't need to shout. You just need to remove the blindfold and see. See what they stole from you. Your agency, curiosity, raw potential. See who benefits when you stay small and compliant, and who trembles when you awaken. You were never a villain for dreaming. You were never greedy for building. They lied to protect their comfort, not yours. Their profit grew on your obedience. Now, you don't need permission. You need only your own decision. Your quiet revolt is more dangerous than any loud protest, because those who rise silently collapse foundations. Your revolt isn't loud. It's a shift in your mind. It looks like waking at dawn when others sleep, reading instead of scrolling, investing instead of chasing quick thrills. You fight old rules by learning them, not to obey, but to outgrow. You join the game on your own terms, using their patterns to break free and redefine them. Money itself isn't the villain. It's a mirror showing what's inside. A fearful man spends to feel safe. A purpose-driven man invests to expand his freedom. Now you see the difference. You no longer chase price tags. You look for value in things, habits, people. Value multiplies. Noise fades into the background. You stop saying, I can't afford that. You ask, how can I afford it? You stop waiting for raises. You build revenue streams that flow even when you rest. You break free from the time equals money trap. You invest in skills that earn while you sleep. You trade hours for leverage and buy back your time. They trained you to be replaceable. Now you become irreplaceable, not by shouting, but by mastering your craft, not by following, but by leading with action. Your posture changes. You walk tall. Your presence shifts every room you enter. People sense your quiet confidence. You set the tone without asking. This is how you become dangerous. Not with anger, but with clarity. Not with noise, but with stillness. Not with force, but with intent. Your calm is your weapon. You stop hustling for scraps. You start building foundations brick by brick. Each habit a pillar of strength, each routine a declaration of purpose. Your mind rewires. I can learn. I'm stuck becomes I'll find a way. You replace limits with strategy. You feel energy surge when you guard your focus. You honor mornings and nights. You schedule deep work and deep rest. You slow down to speed up. You attract a new tribe, not louder, but deeper. Not many, but strong. Those who build in silence and act with intention, not applause. You post less on social media. You build more off-grid. You let results echo instead of your voice. You measure success by progress, not by likes. If this resonates, like the video and subscribe now to join our silent rebellion. Your support fuels more insights. Let's continue breaking the script. You master money by mastering yourself. Your budget reflects values. Your investments reflect vision. Your spending fuels mission. You put priorities where they matter most. You learn to see debt as a tool, not a trap. When used wisely, it speeds your journey. When used recklessly, it ensnares you. You choose wisely. You embrace calculated risk. Risk without action is regret. You manage fear, observe it, learn from it, then move anyway. You set boundaries, social media, draining relationships, bad habits. You guard your energy. You protect your peace. No apologies. You level up your skills. Invest in yourself first. You treat your mind as your greatest asset, protecting it like a vault. You no longer envy the rich. You envy their discipline. And so you build your own, one small habit at a time. You stop begging for fairness. You create your own leverage. You write terms, then live by them. You negotiate from value, not from need. They said negotiation is selfish, but true negotiation is mutual value exchange. What can I offer before what can I take? That mindset flips power to your side. You build recurring income, subscriptions, royalties, dividends, quiet engines of freedom that hum even when you rest. Your nights are unbilled, your weekends yours. Your life reflects your effort, not your employer's clock. You own every minute. You diversify skills, assets, and mindset. You prepare for storms, market crashes, economy shifts, system failures. You adapt, pivot, endure. Your identity isn't a job title. It's your body of work, values, mission. That identity stands firm when roles change. They said humility means silence, but humility paired with confidence is unstoppable strength. You speak up when it matters. You stay silent when it doesn't. You master your emotions, fear, doubt, envy. They visit but don't stay. You observe, learn, then act from clarity. You breathe deeply, rooted in presence. You move deliberately, armed with intention. You rest fully, secure in progress, not perfection. Your wealth now is choice, time, freedom, peace, impact. You guard these currencies above all else. They trained you to accept less. You now accept only your standards, no more, no less. You honor your worth. You expand your circle with purpose. Mentors, peers, collaborators, those who match your vision, not followers or critics. You share value before seeking reward. You serve without expectation. You give so you can truly receive. You build reputation in silence, then unveil results with confidence. The world can't ignore you when your work speaks. You no longer obey old scripts. You write new ones. You publish them with actions. You live them with pride. Your habits become rituals, morning pages, learning sprints, weekly reviews. Each ritual compounds into unstoppable momentum. Clarity follows action. Action follows discipline. Discipline follows routine. Routine follows purpose. You master this chain in reverse order. Now, wealth isn't a destination. It's the byproduct of your alignment, mind, body, time, and intent working as one. You no longer chase dreams. They chase you. You've become a magnet for opportunity, for impact, for genuine success. You stop fearing others' opinions. You value your own voice first. You tune out the crowd. You tune into your purpose. They praise suffering as virtue, but you now value resilience. You rest when needed and return stronger. You recharge to create. You no longer hustle for scraps. You build foundations, by brick, by habit. Each small win compounds. You recognize that true freedom is privacy. Privacy to think, to plan, to grow. You guard it like treasure. You master deep work. You schedule it. You protect it. You know noise is the enemy of your next breakthrough. You master rest. You schedule recovery. Rest fuels resilience. You guard your nights as fiercely as your days. Your work-life balance isn't a goal, it's your default. You integrate growth, rest, joy, connection into every cycle. As you evolve, you break old mindsets. Scarcity to abundance, sacrifice to strategy, obedience to sovereignty. Each day, you trade fear for focus, guilt for growth, noise for stillness. You walk differently. You made it this far, which means you're different. You're rewriting your script and owning your life. Thank you for watching. Until the next video.